all these different questions here from all over.
We're ready, tapes rolling.
Oh, that is so cool. Okay. Let's just start in general. Could you please tell me what attracted you to the role or to the project in general as a producer and the actor?
Well, being the producer and the actor, I just thought it was original. I just thought it was fresh. And I had not seen a movie before about a gun runner. It just was unique material to me. And so on both fronts, I felt like I would learn something. I felt that I was doing something that would challenge me, and I wouldn't be repeating myself.
Yeah, maybe you can tell me in your own words what's the story about.
Well, the story is really kind of a slice of life of this character's life, Yuri Orlov, and how he rises to power as a gun runner from being a poor Ukrainian immigrant in just outside of Brooklyn to becoming the leading arms dealer of the world, who schmoozes with politicians and generals and the likes of that sort. And what's interesting about it is there's a lot of narration in the movie. And as the narrator, my character is very honest, and he's talking directly to you without lying about all the bad qualities of his character and maybe some of the good qualities, but he never lies to you. But in the movie, he's lying to everybody. He's lying to his wife, he's lying to his brother, he's lying to the people he sells guns to. I wanted him to be, without taking too much of your own interpretation away, I wanted him to be very charming. I wanted him to be a charming, appealing devil, if you will, so that he could be so successful. I don't think if he had shown his horns, and there are horns because it's really about the money for him, I think, he wouldn't have been as successful as he was. He's got to be a good salesman, and a good salesman knows how to look good and smile and make people feel comfortable with who they are.
So regarding those relations you were talking about in the movie, maybe you can tell me something about the relation from Yuri and his brother compared to Yuri and his wife or his parents.
Well, the Yuri Vitaly relationship in many ways is the central heart of the movie. It's the core relationship, the truest love story, because even though Yuri lies, he does lie a little bit less to his brother. And my character loves Vitaly and wants him to be okay, and is almost like a father figure to him, because he doesn't want him to be high and on drugs. Tries to get him sober, and of course at the end what happens, and that's sort of the straw that breaks the camel's back for him. His relationship with his wife is a good one, because he does provide and he takes care of her, and they live in, kind of a very vain, extraordinary lifestyle. But and he tries to be good to his son, but he's always away on business, so it's not quite as close as his relationship with his brother, who he takes with him on business.
The entire movie is about bad conscience. I mean, at the end, like once your brother dies, you're confronted with your own conscience. I would be interested in, if you were Yuri in real life, how would the story have ended? I mean, what would you have done in that particular situation when your brother would die or died?
What would I do? I wouldn't put my brother in that situation. I mean, that wouldn't be rule number one. I wouldn't risk my brother's life.
Okay. Well, let's see that morally conflicted person again with that bad conscience. It's an action movie, but there's always that deeper sense behind it.
Yeah.
Compared to other movies that I saw, I mean, there's always a deeper sense behind it. It's always about reflecting personality, going inside, seeing that I'm just not the superficial person. There is something more behind my actions. So is that what challenged you about that movie, that bad conscience that actually comes out at the end, and what Yuri's going to do about it?
I like the bleakness of the ending. I like the cynicism of the ending. I thought it was very honest, very truthful. I don't like, well, that's not true. Sometimes I like formula endings. You know, I want to entertain you. I want you to go to the movies and have a good time, but I don't want to get in the habit of that. A lot of movies become calcified and typical because they follow formula structure, which is a result of the studio system wanting to make money. More power to them, that's great. But I also think it's important to have movies that are made that don't follow the formula, and they do leave you with questions at the end or feeling odd at the end, because that keeps the creative juices flowing. It keeps everything moving. It's not, I don't think, good to lapse into one type of story. Always a happy ending, always good wins. You know, that ain't life, you know. So
And it would be boring, maybe. I don't know.
maybe it would all be mush after a point.
For the shoot, you went to not only Manhattan but South Africa and Czech Republic. What was the most exciting experience that you still remember from that time?
Well, I had wonderful experiences in South Africa. I went on a great white shark safari, and I got to meet the great white sharks face to face underwater. I went on other safaris and saw the wild dogs at Singida and the elephants and rhinoceros. It was a beautiful time. It was a great time to. Alice and I had we were together on those trips, and it was, just very romantic.
And have you ever been to the Czech Republic before?
That was my first time, and well, what can I say? The architecture was extraordinary. It was really quite enchanted. I can see where Walt Disney got a lot of his ideas for the Enchanted Kingdom with the structure of the castles and whatnot. It looks like the real thing when you're there.
So it was not the Ukraine, but still, could you imagine the whole plot better when you were there at those landscapes, at those countries? Like the whole movie was about what was going on with the arms dealers. So could you imagine that a little better over there?
I mean, it was right in front of my face, so in a sense, I didn't have to imagine it. It was there. I mean, it was all the tanks and the helicopters. I mean, the movie didn't cost that much to make, and when you see that level of hardware, it looked like a really big movie. Just the rows upon rows of artillery.
We're done. I'm
Okay,
so sorry.
thanks.
But you're doing
All right.
great.
Okay. Nice to
Thank
speak
you
with
so